welcome to another episode of the Movee Media Podcast, where we talk to people we meet in the course of doing our video production work. And today I'd like to introduce to you my friend, Lloyd. How are you, Lloyd?
Pretty good. And yourself?
I'm very good. So I always feel awkward asking this question because I kind of already know, but introduce to the world, who is Lloyd? Who are you? Give us your full name and how would you describe yourself?
Okay, I'm Lloyd Jarrow, the founder and creator of Movee Media Production. It's a media company that I've established approximately 2 years ago through this the part that's supposed to be cut.
I love to leave my friends hanging.
Look, I'm good. I'm perfectly fine with that. So I guess that would be my professional career, my personal journey. I've had I don't know where to start. I guess to start on the end.
Let me help you with that.
Okay,
I
let's
wouldn't
go.
know where to start either. Right. So let's start with how we first met.
Okay.
So you came into my world because a very good friend of mine, Aaron Hogan, who owns I Wonder Photography, gave me a call one day and he said, "Hey, I have this guy. He's trying to get into live streaming. He needs some help." And at that time, we just come out of COVID and I was the live streaming man in town. And so I met you and learned a bit about your background and all. And after a couple of in-person meetings, I saw your spirit, man, and you have a wonderful spirit, but you have an interesting journey as well. And so you and I worked together. I came to a few of your live streams for you, basically got you up and running. Mm-hmm. And I'm thrilled to see that you are still at it, because persistence is the number one key goal that you need if you want to do anything in this life. And so first, well done for sticking with it all these years. How is the live streaming going?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
What kind of work? I don't want to give me client names, but what sort of level of live streaming are you doing? What kind of live streams are you managing?
So currently I live stream for Metro Council. I say currently, but those are my last clients.
Okay, so these would be council meetings?
Yeah, council meetings, public meetings.
Okay,
yeah.
And how are you finding it technically and creatively? And
I find it interesting every time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because you have to, you just have to let it run, besides the setup and everything. You just have to pretty much let it run.
So I find that we, during COVID, so my background, we've probably already told you this, but first 10, 12 years of my career in video production was working in what became basically a production facility. We did live television shows. And so I had the full control room with headsets on and camera operators on the floor running 3 and 4 cameras and, coming in 5, 4, 3 on camera, all of that. It was great. And so, but I let that go when I went freelance and I got into commercial video production, ad agency stuff, things like that. And then during COVID, when COVID hit and everyone started trying to live stream, I saw the governor of Louisiana and he looked like amateur hour. And so I lent on all of that experience doing live TV production and got really heavily into live streaming. And so by the time you and I met, I was doing like conferences with the lake here in town and down at the New Orleans Convention Center when no one could actually come to events. I was a Zoom expert, let's put it that way, with multiple feeds. It's kind of cool, I found, because live streaming and live production, unlike, documentary filmmaking, for example, it's like everyone is really stressed until 2 minutes into the live stream. It's almost like everyone's worried, is this gonna? But then once it doesn't matter how complicated the setup is, once it gets started, everyone's like, oh, we're rolling now. Do you have the same experience?
Yes, I definitely. It's almost like, I hate to describe it as a fight. It's like the anticipation of it, anticipation. And after the first couple of swings, you're like, okay, I'm in it. I feel this punch. I got it. We can go from there. It definitely has that impact on you. You're scared that something's going to mess up. Like that's the most.
Especially the clients, they can't afford that. When it goes live, it's kind of like they're in your hands and stuff. Mm-hmm. Do you sense that same, kind of breath that from your people when you start live streaming?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what makes your live streaming service a little unique, perhaps, than maybe, because a lot of people are like, yeah, I can live stream that, and then it sometimes doesn't go so well. So, what do you have that other people don't?
So I have a mentor, you. Like I text this guy and I would think the work, so I also do photo and video too, just raw video. So and I would ask him to critique. I wouldn't even ask him to critique it. Sometimes I just ask him what's his opinion, but that means critique, right? Sure. And he would break it down. I mean, oh my God, faster than chat. GPT. No, seriously. So it's like
What makes your service? What do you have that other people don't?
so what I have is, from your advice, I purchased a live stream Solo Pro.
What is a Solo Pro? Tell the world.
So Solo Pro is a streaming device that allows you to, it's an encoder. It allows you to basically combine all the bandwidth, all the internet, I would say the internet services to one screen, to one feed.
This is not an insignificant financial investment. It's not.
Right.
But when it comes to live streaming, it occurred to me very quickly that when you show up and saying, I'm going to live stream your event, you better bring your own bandwidth. Right. And so what this device does is it's wireless. You can have multiple wireless routers supplying internet into this device that you then run your production into. And so you can live stream from the middle of a field or a conference room or a council meeting. And it's independent of the facility's internet, and it's rock solid. And so, yeah, it really is if you're having someone live stream and they don't have something like that, then they're not providing a whole service. I just want to make sure everyone knew that you have that.
Right.
That's really impressive you got that.
That was a hell of a feature. Yeah.
Has it saved your butt?
Absolutely. Right. And then the good part about it is, if you think about buying one, for as competition wise,
yes.
and you always think competitive, okay, what's out there? You think of buying one. I always say, okay, I can give you the great advice and get this tool, but you're gonna have to learn how to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So so that's what you're doing now, and that's I'm pleased to see that you're still rocking on with that. But I also, and I'm going to ask whatever question comes in my head. You feel free to tell me to shut up or you don't want to talk about that stuff. But tell me about your past, because your past is unique. It's very interesting. And I want to talk about it. Where'd you come from?
So I grew up in LaPlace, Louisiana. I stayed in New Orleans for a little while. But mostly I grew up in LaPlace, Louisiana. That's St. John the Baptist Parish, for those who are in Louisiana. And at 17, I was young, wild, pretty much, into drugs, into survival mode, just trying to make it in life. I was in the 10th grade, reading and writing on a 4th grade level. And I ended up in some trouble, murder, ended up in prison, being sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. Spent more than I was 17 when the crime happened. Spent more than 25 years in prison. And the law change says give juveniles a second chance to a shot at parole, eligible for parole, if they show that they are rehabilitated and they can be changed. And with the change in law, I was out. Able to get out. I worked for an organization called Louisiana Parole Project.
Is that the program that changed the law?
Well, that's the program that was created for juveniles like myself. The founder was also a juvenile, and he had spent a number of years inside as well. So he came home, Andrew, and he started Louisiana Parole Project. Okay,
so now you're involved with that parole project as well. Give me the name again.
Louisiana Parole Project.
And so since you were paroled out, how long were you in prison for?
25 years.
25 years.
Yeah.
Well, I've got questions about that too, but so you come out after 25 years, part of this project. Is part of your parole to be involved in the project, or were you just interested and started to work with them?
No, initially it was required that I go through the program that the project offered. It was like a 6-month to an 8-month thing, and I was required to go through it for a year.
Okay.
So I went through the program, and after I finished with the program, I got out. Not got out. It's actually, they provide housing. They help you totally reintegrate back into society. Housing, job, license, the whole gamut of what you would need to make it. They was that foundation.
Okay. And so you went through the program for the first year, and then you stuck around. Are you still working with them?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I work with them as a caseworker, but not at this particular moment.
So as a
like 5 months ago.
As a caseworker, what's your role? What service do you provide that organization? Are you kind of assigned a person that's behind you and that's coming out, and you help them?
Reintegrate, right? So what I do is the job title is a reentry specialist.
Okay.
So what I did, I had a number of clients, more than 200 clients.
Wow.
And I would track their behavior, not I hate to say it like that. It sounds so bureaucratic. Like, not track their behavior. I would pretty much mentor them. As soon as I'll go pick them up from the front gate, and the first, let them sign the paperwork saying that they're in the program. First thing we do, go to Walmart, give them that Walmart experience, and teach them consumer shopping. The very first day when they get out, we're going to Walmart. We're going to do consumer shopping. I'm going to show you what are the things you want to buy for as great value, because you want to be able to learn to save your money. When you're coming from an institution, you're coming from a place where everything is given to you. Your food, your meal, shower, time to go to sleep.
So when to do what?
Yeah, when to do right. So that was my first thing. And then when they get a job, so I would track them for 6 months and call them, check on them weekly. How's the job? I make note of their progress, their regress, and if I didn't know them from the inside, I would develop a relationship with them, because I understand the mentality of the institution, and we would develop a working relationship, and they would trust me with a lot, and I would tell them that we have two relationships. We have a professional relationship. If you tell me something in professional capacity or something that's dangerous, you won't hurt yourself or anything, you can trust that I'm going to get you help.
Yeah, you're looking out for their best interest.
Right. When you tell me something on a personal level, then I'm not going to document it. I'm going to receive who you are and help you.
Did you have one of those people helping you through the program when you first came out?
Yeah, a guy named Lewis.
Cool.
Yeah, Lewis, and actually Lewis was working for Pro, well, of course, but when Lewis moved on, when he moved to another job, I took his spot.
Okay.
He recommended. They asked, okay, who you recommend to take your spot? And this was like a couple of years later.
Yeah.
And they went through a list of 36 people, and I was the one they landed on to say that.
So as you, again, feel free to not answer any of these questions. So you said you had 200 people assigned to you?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot.
And you've been doing it for a couple of years now. So you've got a data set, I guess. I'm interested, like what's the success rate?
Well, the recidivism rate is less than 3%.
Less than 3%.
Less than 3%.
Holy cow.
You're talking about more than 600 people.
Yeah.
Came through Louisiana Parole Project.
Well, what are some character traits? And let me back up. I'm actually interested. I've not been incarcerated, certainly not any length of time, and I just what is it? What's the biggest change? What does it do to the way you think to be incarcerated for 25 years and then to come out? Like, what's the difference for a person that's never been incarcerated? Can you paint a picture for me or help me to try to appreciate what is it like? What does it do to your mindset? I don't know. Can you talk about that? Your experience?
Yeah. So you have different categories, relationship wise. Yeah. You talk about relationship wise, and we talking about in social settings, so I guess I will grab the most intimate relationships. So in relationships, if you had your significant other, there's a very there's an adaptation that you have to grow into and evolve and be healed into, taught, because the way we communicate in the inside is not the reality of the way we communicate out here. It's a total different reality. It's a total different world. The concepts and the terminology is totally different.
Can you give me an example?
Yes, let me give you an example. So inside, people more or less, and out here too, that to a small degree, your word is your everything. Your word is your bond. I don't care how much money you got on the inside. There's some millionaires who are incarcerated, but their money doesn't move anything. Your word is everything. If you say you was going to do something, you follow through. Mm-hmm. Whereas out here, your word doesn't mean anything. If you're not signing a contract, it doesn't mean anything. For example, one of the guys I knew, he didn't come to a parole project, but he was a guy that I knew. He went to purchase a car, and the dealer said, "Okay, I'm gonna hold the car for you until tomorrow, at such and such time." So the guy made it there, but the dealer sold the car before he can come back. The guy was early, and he like, "Man, you told me you was gonna keep the car. Man, you gave me your word. You gave me your word that you was gonna keep the car." And he went berserk. He didn't do anything physically to the guy, but he caused a real disturbance because his mindset was on, you gave me your word. You told me you was gonna do it, and that meant everything.
Yeah, integrity is your currency.
Right. So that's an example of, the mindset of
You've always struck me as having a very calm disposition. Like you seem to be at peace. Is that something you arrived at, or are you always trying to be that?
That's Adderall. look, pun intended, but no, true story. So at one time I was all over the place. So and another thing, you don't trust doctors in the inside.
You don't trust.
You don't trust doctors, medical staff at all. You don't trust them because you've seen so much happen, and a lot of if you're a doctor working in an institution, it's because you had some type of problem, and they put you in an institution, and more than likely you done got numb because you done seen people malingering, you done seen all kind of stuff, and you're just not really treating people with the best of care. Not everyone, but there are some.
Okay.
So when I came home, I went to see my doctor, my primary care, and then I realized I need to see my psych doctor because I was forgetting a lot of things, like literally forgetting a lot of things, and I was all over the place, and I didn't understand. On my job, it was really causing problems. So, and he told me I had ADHD, and I was like, wow, really? So he prescribed some medicine, and he gave me some bupropion. So bupropion, I realized it wasn't enough. Bupropion was killing every desire I had, my whole nature. I'm like,
making you a zombie.
Yeah, like I can't even do anything. I don't have a nature.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't want that. So he eventually upgraded it to Adderall. But I didn't know that I had ADHD, and until a month ago, I didn't know I had inattentive ADHD. So that's the different types. I didn't even know. I thought it was one across the board.
You were hesitant to go to a doctor because of that experience.
Yeah, the experience. Yeah. So I had to go to the doctor, and I found out that I had PTSD, ADHD, and dyslexia. Yeah. So it didn't occur to me then. I was struggling with it, besides the trauma of my childhood, going through stuff, but the institution compound that like times 10.
Dude, it's like, how do you help people that are walking the same path you've already walked? It's kind of a wide open question. No. How do you think you help people that you work with?
For one, I'm very observant, and in the inside, you learn. I went when I was 17, and I was clean shaved. So I had a lot of challenges, like you looking young, you was a teenager.
Yeah.
Predators, and you got some predators not everybody, obviously not everyone.
Right.
And I had to fend. I had to learn how to read.
Yeah, you lived in fight or flight the whole time.
Right.
Yeah, they'll dial
you couldn't flight. Right. You had to fight, because if you flight, then it's gonna forever chase you. You're gonna be more horrible. You're gonna live a horrible life. But I had to learn how to read a room.
Yeah.
And how to be able to predict certain behaviors. So those behaviors I can identify with somebody who's been there. And immediately, somebody who's been incarcerated, they can be in another state. It's certain things that I can notice, and I'd be like, hey, you was locked up? Yeah, man, how you knew? And it's just certain things you learn. It's like people, you would, I don't know if it would, if it can be correlated to somebody's in the photography sphere or live streaming, and certain words they use, they in the
So my wife calls it this.
Okay.
This right here, it's you feel it. You feel it. And I don't know, like I find myself fairly in tune with other people. It's like a form of empathy, I think. I wouldn't profess to speak to your level. I mean, that fight or flight makes sense to me. You know, imagine if, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but if you're from the moment you wake up into the moment you go to sleep, you are fight or flight. That will dial you in to every sound you hear, that'll wake you up when you sleep. There's no peace in that. And so it will make you very attuned to how people are acting. And yeah. Do you use that
Absolutely.
in your life outside now?
Absolutely.
It's like a superpower.
It's like a superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use it when I'm talking to people, when I'm just in. Actually, I was just in an area they had a festival, and I seen some young men, and he passed a few words, and I'm looking at the body language, and 10 minutes later, another one pulled out an assault rifle and was shooting at him. And I'm like, wow. But me and my guy who just came home, everybody started running. We, in sync, did it together, stopped, and observed what was going on. We didn't run because we needed to see what was the situation first. I don't want to run and not knowing whether the other person is running, what he's shooting. First, we need to assess what is the situation, and now we realize, okay, he's going that way. Okay, that was okay. And even look at the calmness of the guy who with the gun. We just judging it from a whole nother perspective. And then we walked off and said, man, we could, let's go.
Yeah. So, and you find that the people that are coming out, they all have that same sort of base.
No, not everybody.
Really?
Right, not everybody. Some people. So when you go in with a life sentence, you have to commit to this one thing. You have to commit to losing yourself. But it's losing yourself to what? That's going to determine whether you make it out. I lost myself in obsession trying to get here. And what I mean by that, I became obsessed with going home with freedom and working toward it. My only sane moments, what let me know that I was on the right path was progress. I was measuring progress. I was going back before court orders like 36 times regular, like within the last 6 years of my incarceration, regular. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm not tripping. And you go into this warped mind state where when the guards would leave, I probably would take one particular guard, that I was, maybe talk to her here and there, woman or man, and I would visualize them at the red light, getting in their car, putting the seatbelt on. He's probably stopping you something to eat, right? McDonald's, and I'm visualizing that, but I'm living like I'm carrying myself out through them. And I would make long walks on the yard maybe about 4 miles, and you're just walking in. And then when you get in, you do your paperwork. But I lost myself to that because there was a lot of times when I was denied in court. But you had to live each day as if you're really trying to go home, but you don't value going home more than right now.
You said that people, you lose yourself to something. I mean, is that true for the people that, I guess, you can lose yourself to substance and stuff and really lose yourself. I mean, yeah, man. How do you feel after being a 17-year-old, a juvenile that committed a crime? Now, that crime impacted somebody. I don't know anything about your case, but there's always that side of a story like that. You have any thoughts on, the difference between, because you don't strike me as a person capable of that now. And so there's, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 48.
So there's the 48-year-old version of you that thinks about what you did and wouldn't do it now. And then there's the 17-year-old version of you that did. What's the difference between those two people?
The difference is one is in survival mode and the other one is in growth. So the survival mode, you look for opportunities to leave your environment. Because the guy was into drugs. You were running. The guy was into drugs. I was into drugs, like selling drugs and street crime type. And
you're not running anymore.
Right. You're running towards something that's bigger than yourself.
That makes a lot of sense.
Now I see every one of us are connected. And on that grand scale of humanity, what really brought me to the level of consciousness of thinking about life on a broader scale is I was a hospice volunteer for 6 years on the inside. And you don't do that just because you're trying to find something to do. Like you bathing, you counseling men.
Why did you do that? And what did you get out of that experience?
I did it because I wanted to have something more than my transcripts, like going home. When you settle with the thought of, what if I don't go home? What greater good can I do? What service can I do? A friend of mine named Boston, Charles Rogers, he was a hospice volunteer. And they did a documentary, #1 on Netflix for quite a while, and called Serving Life. And he inspired me because what he found in it was something that you could not touch. It was something the system couldn't take away. And it was a way of resistance, because we know that the medical staff was not all that great. And now you get a chance to take care of someone that you don't know anything about their crime. You don't know. It could be the worst person in the world. Could have been Adolf Hitler. Like, literally, you don't know about their crime. And one guy in particular that I took care of had bodies buried. They try to, I knew his case was very serious because you had secret agents come and talk to him, and he just was stubborn. He just would not talk. And I was like, man, if I would have known what the guy, I could have talked. The guy I believe he would have told me where a couple of bodies was at, because the victims was like, okay, my loved one is dead, but at least give us the body. And he didn't want to tell him. And he had a cold stare, but I was close to him. I was cleaning him, wiping his butt. I'm like, I had no idea. I felt so certain that guy would have gave me at least 2 bodies before he passed away. Because he had cancer, terminal cancer. Bone cancer. So, he was in pain. And he never cried. He barely talked. But
that kind of experience will get you out of your own head.
Yeah.
That's what it did for you? Got you out of your own head.
Yes. You're gonna get out of your own way, because now that's something greater. Now some guys do the job and they'll be abusive to the guys. Steal from them, beat them. And I pride myself on never abusing one of those guys, because they're hopeless. And you watch that, more than 36 people I body bag.
Okay. So I have this thought, and I try to hold myself to it, is that you don't know who you are. It's like the life's journey is to figure out who you are and what you're capable of, right? And you don't know. You can think or aspire to be this version of yourself that you'd like to be, but it's in the actions that you take that you actually get to find out. And even the actions that nobody else knows about, you do. And it's a really bad game to play, to try and tell yourself you're one thing and know you're not because you did a thing. And so people that are a piece of shit do stuff like that to people in whatever situation,
Right.
they're a piece of shit before they did it,
Right.
and they're a piece of shit and they know it after they did it.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
How you doing now, buddy? I mean,
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I'm glad to have met you in the business side, but everything going well in life?
Yeah, it's challenging.
Yeah.
It's challenging, but it's good because I'm going through a phase in my life, especially with my business. I walk away from my 9 to 5
Yeah.
and to pursue my business. I still have a part-time job at the Renaissance, but it's been very humbling because when you decide to become an entrepreneur and walk away from your business, walk away from your 9 to 5, your job, just over broke, you said, this is a conscious decision that I'm making toward financial freedom.
And that's where you're headed.
Yeah, I have to because I'm a quarter century behind with no quarters in the system, the Social Security system.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it works out if I have to get a business because I can't work another 25 years for someone and then let my money go like that. It doesn't make any sense. And so that has been a very humbling experience. I love it. I have bills I'm fighting, trying to keep up with it. But it's cool because I learned this. Fate and works always pays off.
Faith and works.
Keep working. Keep having faith.
Well, for what it's worth, as a person outside of your circle, I could see it in you, man. When I met you, you're a wonderful human being, and I appreciate you spending some time today sharing your story, man.
Thank you.
Where can, if folks want a live stream service, where can they go to find you?
Jarrow Media. That's JARROW and media.net.
All right. I look forward to watching your journey being part of it too, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.